I'm here with Alicia Hawks, our Manager of Business Development for Learfield Sports Properties, and it's known as Vermont Sports Properties here at the University of Vermont. We're going to ask Alicia a few questions, and she's been kind enough to sit with me to answer those for you. So Alicia, how many months now have you been at the University of Vermont working for VSP?
I started in March, so gosh, what's the math on that?
7
8 months?
What was your previous position and title?
Sure. So I started out in the sports industry in Denver. I was working with the Broncos for about 3 years. Started out at an intern position and then rose up to sales, and then before I knew it, premium sales. And after that, I was working in hospitality once again in sales, and just found myself here.
Thank you. And what college did you go to, and what was your major?
University of Vermont.
Go Cats.
Yep, go Cats. I was in the business school here with a concentration in marketing.
Great. And what are your current job responsibilities?
Sure. Well, my job is to work with businesses around the area to put together customized marketing solutions for these businesses. So using Vermont Athletics as a platform. You might expect that people are calling in all the time to advertise using our space since it is so great. But surprisingly, I do have to go out, make cold calls, network within the area, meet with local businesses to figure out what their objectives are, what they're looking to accomplish, and then based upon that, put together a package for them.
Great. What is your most memorable professional moment?
That's a tough one. I'm sure, Kirsten, with your experience, you know as well, just working with, you definitely form a lot of relationships with fans. And but one thing that really sticks out to me is when I was working with the Broncos, the NFL was going through a lockout, and I was in a temporary position when I first started with them, and myself and John Elway were the only people to get hired on full-time going into that lockout. So that was a pretty memorable day.
That's awesome. 3 qualities you need to have to succeed in this profession.
I would say you definitely have to be hardworking, persistent, and just outgoing. I mean, you definitely have to be outgoing in this role.
And what's the most challenging aspect of your position?
There's certainly some rejection that comes along with this role, and not letting that get to you, and making sure that you always have a full pipeline. And it's not always the easiest thing, just picking up the phone and making cold calls, but making sure that pipeline's full.
Great. And the final question, advice for a student who would one day like to be in a position similar to yours?
I would say networking. I mean, that's how I found myself in this position. It's definitely a competitive industry, so networking however you can with anybody that you can. I know people were probably very sick of me when I was trying to get my foot in the door, and a lot of people have been in the same position that are in those roles now, so 100% networking.
That's great advice, because that's the theme of the semester. Network. So
perfect.
Thanks for taking some time with us.
Yeah.
Go Cats.
Go Cats.